Welcome to the Psychology Pub. Today we will be discussing 7 things narcissists hate. Diving into the dislikes of a narcissist not only offers a roadmap for navigating challenging dynamics, but also illuminates the fragile ego behind the facade. This understanding equips us with the strategies needed to engage effectively in personal relationships or professional settings. With this knowledge, we're better prepared to approach these interactions clearly and confidently. 1. Criticism. For narcissists, criticism is more than just a sting to their ego. It's akin to a direct assault on their very identity. Their self-esteem, despite the facade of unshakable confidence, is incredibly delicate. Imagine a scenario where a narcissist, who prides themselves on their professional achievements, receives a performance review that's less than stellar. Instead of taking it as an opportunity for growth, they might react with denial, anger, and blame-shifting. This reaction is not limited to professional settings. Even in personal relationships, a simple suggestion aimed at improvement, like a partner proposing a more equitable division of household chores, can be interpreted as an insinuation of inadequacy. For the narcissist, every critiquer, no matter how constructive, feels like an undermining of their authority and a denial of their perceived superiority. Their response to criticism often involves lashing out, belittling the critic, or engaging in elaborate mental gymnastics to refute the validity of the critique. This behavior stems from an underlying vulnerability, the fear of being seen as less than perfect. In their world, they're not just good at what they do, they're the best. Admitting to a flaw, therefore, isn't just acknowledging a single instance of failure. It's tearing down the entire edifice of their self-worth. The irony, of course, is that their inability to accept criticism often prevents them from achieving the very perfection they so desperately seek to project. Before we continue, subscribe, comment, and like this video to support the channel. 2. Being ignored. Imagine living in a bubble where you're the sun and everyone else orbits around you. Now, imagine that bubble suddenly pops and you find yourself adrift in a vast, indifferent universe. That's what being ignored feels like to a narcissist. Their need for attention and admiration isn't just a desire, it's a compulsion, an essential component of their psychological makeup. When they're ignored, it's not just an inconvenience, it's an existential threat. This craving for the spotlight can manifest in various contexts, from constantly steering conversations back to themselves at social gatherings to an insatiable appetite for likes and comments on social media. The digital age, with its platforms designed for validation, can be particularly intoxicating for narcissists, providing a constant, albeit superficial, source of narcissistic supply. When this supply is cut off or even diminished, the effects can be dramatic. Withdrawal symptoms may include irritability, attempts to provoke reactions just to feel noticed, or even depression. The irony is that their relentless pursuit of attention often pushes others away, leading to the very isolation they fear. In personal relationships, this dynamic can be especially toxic, as the narcissist's partner may feel suffocated by the constant need to provide attention and validation, leading to a cycle of demand and withdrawal that can be difficult to break. These expanded explorations delve deeper into the psychological underpinnings of narcissistic behaviors, offering insights into why narcissists react so strongly to situations that challenge their self-perception. 3. Lack of control. For narcissists, control is not just about power, it's about ensuring the world reflects their desired image. When they lose control, it's as though their carefully curated universe starts to unravel. This need for control can manifest in various aspects of life, from micromanaging every detail of a project at work to insisting on making all decisions in a relationship, no matter how trivial. The thought process is simple. If they control everything, nothing can go wrong, and their image of perfection remains untarnished. However, life, by its nature, is unpredictable. When faced with situations that defy their control, like an unexpected setback at work or a partner asserting their independence, the narcissist's reaction is often disproportionate. They may resort to manipulation, anger, or even retribution to regain their sense of control. This desperation can alienate colleagues, friends, and loved ones, further undermining the relationships they try so hard to dominate. Failure. To a narcissist, failure is anathema. Their entire self-image is built on being exceptional, so admitting failure is tantamount to admitting worthlessness. This isn't just about big, life-changing failures. Even small setbacks are seen through a distorted lens of self-critique. In the workplace, for example, a minor error on a report can provoke a crisis, leading to blame-shifting or elaborate excuses. In personal endeavors, such as sports or hobbies, a loss or a poor performance can lead to quitting rather than facing the possibility of not being the best. The tragedy of this mindset is that it closes off the path to growth and learning, which often come from reflecting on and overcoming failures. Instead of using these experiences to develop resilience, the narcissist sees them as threats to be avoided at all costs. Remember to turn on notifications to be alerted when we release new videos. 5. Sharing the spotlight. For narcissists, the spotlight is not just a place of comfort, it's a necessity. Sharing it is an alien concept, akin to sharing a piece of their identity. This can be particularly evident in environments that naturally involve recognition, such as the workplace or within family celebrations. A colleague's promotion or a sibling's achievement can trigger jealousy and resentment. Instead of celebrating others' successes, the narcissist perceives them as diminishing their own importance. This zero-sum view of success, that for someone else to win, they must lose, can lead to a life filled with unnecessary competition and isolation. By being unable to genuinely rejoice in the achievements of others, narcissists rob themselves of the richness of shared happiness and the bonds it can forge. 6. Authenticity in others. Narcissists often struggle with genuine authenticity in others because it highlights what they deeply lack: emotional depth and the ability to connect genuinely. Authenticity involves being open, vulnerable, and honest, qualities that narcissists find both unfamiliar and uncomfortable. When others express genuine emotions or act with true sincerity, it can feel like a stark contrast to the narcissist's constructed facade. This authenticity in others can trigger feelings of insecurity or inadequacy in the narcissist, leading them to react with disdain, mockery, or even aggression. For example, witnessing a heartfelt exchange between colleagues or friends might provoke sarcastic remarks or attempts to belittle the authenticity of the moment. In their world, where everything is a performance for admiration, the sincerity of others is not just baffling, it's a threat. 7. Dependence on others. Paradoxically, while narcissists demand constant attention and validation, they detest the idea of being dependent on anyone. This disdain for dependence stems from their need to maintain an image of superiority and self-sufficiency. Admitting a need for others or showing reliance can be seen as a weakness, undermining their self-perceived omnipotence. In relationships, this can lead to a confusing dynamic where the narcissist expects their partner to be available and responsive to their needs without offering the same in return. They may view acts of dependence or requests for support from others as burdensome or as attempts to tie them down. Consequently, they might respond with coldness or withdrawal, further entrenching the cycle of emotional distance and misunderstanding. Conclusion: understanding the psychology behind what narcissists hate reveals the profound insecurity that lies beneath their grandiose exterior. Their aversion to criticism, being ignored, lack of control, failure, and sharing the spotlight are all manifestations of a deep-seated fear of inadequacy. This fear drives them to seek constant validation, control every aspect of their environment, and view life as a competition that they must win at all costs. However, this approach is ultimately self-defeating, leading to a life filled with conflict, isolation, and missed opportunities for growth. For those dealing with narcissists, whether personally or professionally, this understanding can offer insights into their behavior, guiding interactions with empathy and firm boundaries. For narcissists themselves, recognizing these fears could be the first step toward healing and building more genuine connections with others.